She was seen arguing with a man and she hasn't been seen since. This week I am talking about Jacenthia Ann Robinson. She is the Four of Hearts, and it is the third video in my cold case card series. Jacenthia Robinson was a married woman who lived in El Dorado, Arkansas. Now, Jacenthia's husband was very sick with some kidney problems. He was on dialysis, and it wasn't long after she was last seen that he actually died. Jacinthia's disappearance is really shrouded in a lot of mystery. See, Jacenthia lived a high risk lifestyle. She was a known prostitute in the El Dorado area, and she was also a heavy drinker. There's a little bit of a discrepancy in the age that Jacenthia was when she disappeared. On a poster that is listed on the El Dorado police website, it says she was 33 years old at the time she disappeared. And on NamUs, it actually says she was 51. So I'm not sure. I did call the El Dorado police, try to get clarification, but unfortunately I didn't receive a call back. But Jacenthia is a black female. She is a 5'6", and the last time she was seen, she weighed around 110 pounds. The clothing that Jacenthia was last seen in was a long leopard print dress and a wide brimmed straw hat. Now, Jacenthia, who went by several different names, she went by Gay Floyd, Gail Ann Jackson, Gail Ann Robinson, and there were also some discrepancies in the spelling of her name. Some people spelled it Jacenthia, Jacenthia. Some people spelled it with a Y. Some people even wrote La Cynthia. But she is listed as Jacenthia with an E, so that's what I'm going with. Now, Jacenthia Robinson was last seen in front of Jean's liquor store. Today, 20 years after her disappearance, Jean's is located at 704 Northwest Avenue in El Dorado. Now, I did try to call Jean's to see if this was the location that they were at in 2003, but I was unable to get an answer. So I don't know. Maybe someone out there has that information. I'm going to assume yes. It looks like a freestanding building and it has the same name. So let's just say she was at 704 North West Avenue in El Dorado, and she was out there arguing with a Caucasian male. According to the details of her disappearance, Jacenthia Robinson was never seen again. Her husband died less than a year after she went missing, and she did not attend a funeral. She didn't take anything with her when she disappeared. She didn't have a car, so she couldn't have driven away anywhere. Police do suspect foul play in her disappearance, but I think the key here would be to getting information on who the person Jacenthia Robinson was arguing with outside of Jean's that day, probably what they were arguing about, and where she went from there. Now, there is another woman who is very similar to Jacenthia who disappeared from a similar area. I'm going to cover her a different week, but the possibility that these two cases could be related has not been ruled out. If you have any information on the 2003 disappearance of Jacenthia Robinson, you are asked to call the El Dorado Police Department at 870-881-4800 or 870-863-4141. If you were in El Dorado on July 30th, maybe you were driving by Jean's liquor store, maybe you went to Jean's liquor store and saw something, but you thought it wasn't important, I urge you to call the El Dorado Police Department and give them that information. So much time has gone by. It's been 20 years since Jacynthia's family has seen her. They miss her and they deserve answers.